The Michael Berry Show.
Please welcome our newest show sponsor. They will begin in the new year in January. We are delighted to have them on. Some of you will remember a while back I interviewed an entrepreneur by the name of Darren Randall. He'd started a company called Houston Tents and Events, which their website is HoustonTentsEvents.com. And we talked about his business. And he had started a side business because it kept coming up where they do the toilets that they bring out for your party. You've got an outdoor party, pasture party, or whatever. They do those fancy toilets that you kind of wish you had one at your house for an extra in the backyard. But his primary business is Houston Tents and Events, and working his butt off to build it up. And it's like everything else, it's a tough business. But he was starting to make some headway, and he said, when I get our numbers up to a certain point, I'm going to sponsor the show. And I said, to which I always say, if you're waiting on financial success to pay for marketing, you're going about it the wrong way. If you're good at what you do and you can handle the upside, marketing brings in more business. Marketing is not a charitable donation. I tell people this all the time. Don't sponsor our show. We actually have some folks who do this. But don't sponsor our show just because you love what we do and think it's important that we do it and you understand there's a business model behind it. This is an opportunity for you to get to talk to our listeners, who everyone in every business that sponsors our show will tell you their best customers. Their best customers are going to come from our listeners. The restaurants will tell you that those are the people who come in, don't complain about everything, don't send the food back supposedly with the hair in it, 9/10 eaten, and they need another one so they can down that one. Don't skip their bill, criticize everything. The kind of people, it's got a nice email on Louis Flory, somebody that Louis Flory visited yesterday, and she sent a nice message that Louis had come out and they'd sat there and chatted for an hour about what's going on in the country and her trees and what needed to be done, and thank you very much for partnering with good people. That's the model. It's taken us 20 years, but I feel good about where we are. Lady drove in from the other side of Crosby. I forget what the community, it was over at Liberty County, I believe, but it was, maybe it was Dayton, and she'd driven to Corey Diamonds and Design and said, I drove past places to get to them, and I see why you're so high on them, because they are wonderful. That is the goal. And I want, before you talk to a show sponsor, I love it if you email me through our website, michaelberryshow.com. I will personally connect you with the owner of the company. I'd like to think that every person who calls or emails every one of our show sponsors every time is going to get number one, the best service ever, but you and I both know. You catch me at a time, and I might not be at A+, I might be at C+ because I'm tired or I'm busy or I'm distracted. But when I can connect you with the owner of a company, they're going to make sure that their top guy is on it. There's only one top guy at every company. It's just the way it is. That's the nature of the top guy. And they're going to make sure because of it. Mike Batchis at Lone Star Chevy was saying that he is spending an increasing amount of his time actually on deals themselves because our listeners will be looking for he just found a 2008 Jaguar XJ6 with low miles, which you can't find, because one of our listeners said, hey, I know you're a Chevy dealer, but can you find me that vehicle? And he said, I asked him how serious he was about it, and he was serious. He found the vehicle in Pennsylvania, took him 2 weeks to get it down here, and the deal was done. Well, if I'm Sonic that owns that dealership, I don't want my general manager spending that much time on a deal. But he gets caught up in it. He loves our show. He loves what we do, and he loves our listeners, and he does that.